Hey all, hope you're well. Today we're going to talk about templates in Layer. Templates in Layer are how you stop rebuilding the same project setup from scratch. You configure one project exactly right how you want it, categories, fields, views, and all. You capture it as a template and your whole team can start to use the next project with that exact same structure already in place. This is the first of 3 videos on templates that we're going to look at in the Layer Maker course. This one covers creating a template from an existing project. Let's take a look. To get started in applying a template, come up here next to your project name, do the drop down, and create template from project. This is how you initiate the creation of a template from an existing project, which we'll touch on in a bit. But to give you additional context on templates, go to this plus icon and you can see create a category from templates. A template in Layer is to be basically a snapshot of a structure that then gets stamped onto new projects or existing projects. You can think of it like a Revit template file. You don't do live work in it, you just maintain it and update it, and every new project then derives its starting point from it. Unlike a file sitting on a network drive, Layer templates live in your workspace, accessible to everyone you give access to. So we've got 2 basic types. We've got Layer templates. These are built by us on the Layer team. These are best practice setups for common AEC workflows, room data sheets, building surveys, FF&E, and they're available to everyone. Now, company templates, these are specific to your firm. These are your standards, they're your project types, they're visible only within your company. So any license holders of Layer that are within and added to your company. Do make a note though, templates and models are different tools. So don't confuse the two, right? Templates are in that interface and they're applied to the Layer categories structure of your project. Models, these are attached to a Revit model. So when applying a template to a new project, you will have to upload a new model or connect it to a new Revit model to get these elements to populate once again. And those, of course, are based on Revit categories. Okay, so as I just stated, a template is a snapshot, not a live connection. Changes to the source project don't actually update the template, so you've got to be aware of that. Changes to the template don't update projects already built from it either. It's a stamp at a moment in time, not a continual sync. So to create one, let's navigate to our project settings up here. Click the project name in the upper left corner, drop down arrow, and create template from project. Creating a template from a project is only visible and available to project editors and project owners, and it won't appear when you're inside a template itself. If you don't see this and you're someone who's been assigned to create a template, please speak to your BIM manager or the professional in charge of licensing for your company. Name the template so your teammates can scan it and understand it at a glance, because this is what shows up in the template selector when someone's starting a project from scratch and wanting to use your template. Let's call this test template example 1. Once you're finished naming and describing your project template, come down and select which categories you'd like to include in your template. In this case, let's just select all. And notice the distinction between the models category and the layers categories I mentioned earlier. Selecting all only allows you to copy the distinct elements that exist within this template. So if you'd like those transferred over to future projects, go ahead and include those. The model categories are left grayed out because you can't include those, as you have to link another Revit model. This information always comes from Revit first, Revit being the source of truth that Layer lays on top of. Now, including elements and data, leave this unchecked if you're looking for the structure of the project only, where fields, views, and configuration exist. The categories are empty when you apply to the next project. This is the correct use for most templates. Now, if you check them, you typically want to check these boxes so that elements come along with their files, notes, and tasks to the next project. You can use this when the pre-populated content is the value, such as a punch list with your firm's common deficiency items, a room survey with standard room types already populated in the list. The distinction here is a blank form application versus a preloaded example. Go ahead and hit continue. This dialog will pop up and just confirm the template details and include categories below. If all looks well, you can go ahead and hit create template and it'll process. Once the template creation finishes processing, you'll be returned to the project screen. From here, to verify that the template was created, we come up to templates, company, and we can go look for our test project template. These are listed in alphabetical order within your company tab. Test template example 1 by Josh. This includes 11 categories and was created 9 minutes ago. And here your categories will populate just to let you know exactly what's going to be applied. So a couple quick reminders on things that are not carried over or processed by templates. One of them, Revit model elements are not carried over. This model lives in Revit as your source of truth. Layer captures structure of it, not geometry. So you'd have to relink in the next project. Files or notes not attached to any element that's carried through will not be included. and activity log entries for this project will not be carried through on the template application. Regarding automations, we'll get into that more in depth on the future video, but essentially automations are not carried over on template creation. However, we'll explore how we can modify templates once they're created and then create automations within that template that then will be applied to future projects. See you there in the next video, where we'll look at how to find, open, and maintain your templates over time.